This man is crazy. But for some reason, I feel really sorry for him. Like, oh my God, are you that lonely?
Welcome back, guys. This is Issa here for another video. And today we actually have a serious topic to talk about because I am confused. I'm trying to figure out what is actually going on, It is when I heard about this, I was like, do people have no morals anymore? Like nobody has any morals or emotions towards victims or anything like that, Because what I'm talking about is there's this TikTok trend apparently going on where ladies are feeling sad for a serial killer. Okay, guys? You know how that new Netflix series came out about Jeffrey Dahmer and, the guy who murdered 17 people and ate a couple of them, did some activities that are not appropriate for YouTube to others, They are feeling sad for him when they get to the last episode when he gets killed.
I need to know what the psychology is behind me finishing the series and going, I kind of feel sorry for him.
In jail, they're feeling sad. Like, this is actually a trend. Like, they're posting videos on TikTok talking about, am I crazy for feeling sad about Jeffrey Dahmer? Huh? Am I crazy for being sad that Jeffrey Dahmer is dead? I'm like, yes, first, that's like, before we even get anywhere, yes, you are. You're crazy. Because why you're not feeling sad for the victims that were killed? There was like minors that were killed. This guy, how insane he was, how bad he was. He would get people, take them to his house, drug them. Once they fall asleep, he would kill them. After he kills them, some of them, he takes them apart and takes some of the body parts and cooks them and eats them. The other parts, he would put them in acid and take the bones that are remaining and put them on his table. This is how insane this guy was. He even started doing experiments on people, like experiments where he would drill into their head because he didn't want them to, because when they died, it would be too quick. He wouldn't have time to enjoy, the time he had with the deceased person. So he wanted them to be alive because, once the person is dead for a while, they start to decompose and they start, smelling and all of those stuff with the decomposition process. So in order to slow that down, he didn't want to kill, he wanted to keep them alive in a zombie state, right? Wanted to keep them alive in a zombie state. So he drilled a hole. He was doing experiments, drilling holes into people's heads after he drugs them, and then he would put acid or some bleach or stuff into their brain so that they would essentially be like brain dead, like zombies, just walking around with no, capabilities of doing any type of activities for themselves, So this is the type of guy Jeffrey Dahmer was, right? This is what the type of guy he was. And apparently there's some females that are out there, they hear these things, they saw the documentary that they had on Netflix. They saw this. And then they're like, it's so sad. It's so sad. How could they do this to Jeffrey?
Serious question. Is there something wrong with me because I high-key felt bad for Jeffrey Dahmer?
Not how could they do it to the 17 other people that he murdered. No, it's how could they do this to Jeffrey? It was so sad when the guy who was in prison killed him. So sad. I almost cried. I was tear-eyed. This is like literally the things that they're saying. Like, I'm gonna play a couple of the clips so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But this is insane, yo. It is crazy. Like, what has the world actually come to? That people are fantasizing and feeling sorry for serial killers, cold-blooded murderers. Like, these are cold-blooded murderers. They're not like the regular, like, criminal who went to jail for, let's say robbery, You know, they're not robbers. He didn't go rob. He didn't go, steal a car. He didn't go sell some, drugs. No, this guy was a cold-blooded killer. He killed minors, grown folks, mostly black people, but they feeling sad for this guy when he got killed. I'm like, so I'm trying to figure out, like, what is actually going on, I'm trying to understand, like, how did we get here, This is what I'm trying to figure out, like, how did we get here, right? How did we get to this point in time where you can go watch something about a murderer and then end up leaving feeling sorry for the murderer? Not the people who were murdered, but the murderer. Like that, like it just doesn't compute in my head. I'm like really not understanding it at all. Like, is it like so crazy like that? And I saw this one photo. Like I was scrolling through my Facebook. Yeah, I'm old. I got a Facebook. I'm 28, but so I got Facebook. I be scrolling on there. There's this one picture of this one lady, and she actually had Jeffrey Dahmer tattooed on her leg. And let me look at this, actually. I want to see. She had Jeffrey Dahmer tattooed on her leg, right? And then what else it said? It said, if you can't beat them, eat them. So the tattoo she has is, if you can't beat them, eat them. So this is like, she's sexualizing this. She's like, this guy who is a serial murderer, a serial, like, the R word, because he would, do things to the dead bodies, he should be joined, this is her inspiration. She wants to be just like him, She also has a tattoo of, I think this is Ted Bundy, if I'm not mistaken. The other murderer, who went to colleges and, killed folks, So these are the type of people that she is, fantasizing about. These are the type of people that, make her day, that are like, that she's proud of. There's like this, there's also this thing like, there's actually some folks that write letters to like serial killers in prison. Some of them even get married to people in prison. Like, ladies, I'm sorry, like, but what's going on? Like, can you guys like explain this situation to me? Because I'm not understanding. Is there like no guys that are better than a Ted Bundy or a Jeffrey Dahmer out there that you have to stoop to them? Is like I'm just not understanding it. Like, so you like the people that are outside in freedom that didn't murder nobody, they're not good enough. But the murderers, they're the ones, they're the inspiration. They're the people that you want to have, you have fantasies about. These are the type of people that like you have. It's insane. It's actually like insane to me, like that this is actually happening. And they made it like, they're making it a trend. It's like, I saw like 2 videos of 2 different girls, and then this one girl on here. But I'm sure there's probably a lot more females that probably didn't want to post, that felt probably the same way after watching the whole documentary of 17 people that we know of who were murdered, and they left that documentary with the sense of sadness towards the killer. Okay? That's crazy to me. And I don't think I'll ever understand that. So, but like, I don't know. It's just, I don't see how it makes any type of sense, But this is the type of things that's happening nowadays. But we just have to do better, in all honesty, like the tattoos of serial killers on our bodies. And there was, while I was scrolling through my Facebook, and I went to the comments, because once I saw the post, I was like, let me see what people are actually saying about this. And if you could believe this or not, like believe it or not, this is actually comments that were in there. Like people were saying it's the same as somebody having a tattoo of Freddy Cougar or somebody having a tattoo of Jason. Now, there's a difference between somebody having a tattoo of Jason, you know, who is a fictional character that never killed anybody in real life, that no family who is like mourning a child that was lost to Jason, you know, from a movie, and a person who has a tattoo of Jeffrey Dahmer, right? It's different. It's not the same. You know, we have to be able to distinguish fiction and nonfiction. These are two different categories. Fiction is not real and nonfiction is real. So if somebody has a character that is fictional and they like, oh, I like this character because he is, you know, maybe they like the movies, you know, they're a fan of the movie. So there's like, oh, I'm going to get a tattoo of this character who is fictional, who did not commit any real murders or crimes. We cannot treat them the same as somebody who saw a person who is a real person who killed real people with real families, right? These are real people who got killed with real families that died. And they are then going ahead and glorifying the murderer and putting their face on their body to glorify that. That is not the same. That is like, those are two different topics. Like they're not even comparable. So when they were like, oh, it's like when you have a tattoo of Jason and Freddy, you're basically saying you're idolizing murderers too. No, they're idolizing characters from a movie, not serial killers in real life. Those are two distinct things, and they have to be understood. You know, they have to be understood, because if they're not, this is the problem. Because everybody thinks, you know, movies and real life should be interchanged. No, they should not be interchanged, because you need to know when real things begin and fake things end. You know, we need to know that. So you can't justify somebody's horrific decision, you know, and immoral decisions, you know, because somebody else who is a fan of a fictional character did something. So that doesn't make it okay for somebody to idolize a murderer. They're not the same, you know, they're not the same. And that's something like that needs to be said more, because I feel like the way things are moving on, people are like I feel like they're just losing their mind and thinking it's okay. Like, I don't know what happened within the last couple of years. You know, the desensitization, you know, people got so desensitized to like murder and like killing. It's ridiculous, to the point that somebody can actually have a tattoo of a serial killer on their body and be proud of it. And they're like, because like I read this report, I guess they asked her if she regrets having the tattoo. And she said, no, I don't regret it. Why would I regret it? What's there to regret? But this the type of things like, you know, people do. You know, now, I don't know, but I'm going to just end it here, guys. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any other topics you want to talk about, you know, just leave them in the comments and I'll get to them for sure. But let me know what y'all think on this. Like, what do y'all think? Am I the crazy one? Like, am I the one who's insane to think that it's not, like, it's crazy for people to be feeling sad about serial killers and not the actual victims? Like, am I the crazy one? But yeah, let me know what y'all think, all right? Make sure y'all, like, you know, hit that like, man. Subscribe to the channel. You feel me? Hit that subscribe button, man. Trying to grow this shit. So, but yeah, till next time, I'm going to see y'all. Peace.
Baby, I'ma treat you better. Got to go. Tell me what you know. Looking for me, baby, cause you know that I'm so cold. And I ain't never tripping on nobody at all. But I'm just trying to hold you, let you know for sure. Cause you know I'ma treat you so nice. Oh, baby, I'ma treat you so good. Baby, you know I'ma treat you so well. Ain't nobody gonna treat you this well.